How's it going, guys? Cody back again, dropping yet another video. Right, this video is just like a little bit about what's going on at the moment, yeah. Bit of an update, everything. Right, check this out, right. So this morning, right, got a notification on my phone, an email. I thought, who is this? I slid the screen down, and it was my old friend Donald McIntyre. Now, some of you may or may not know who Donald McIntyre is. Donald McIntyre was a investigative journalist and investigative reporter. Used to go undercover and stitch people up, which obviously I came to be friends with him after all that went down, because obviously otherwise we've had nothing to do with him. He went undercover with the Chelsea Headhunters, which is the Chelsea firm for the football. Do you know what I mean? And he went undercover, got a Chelsea tattoo, passed out in a chair and everything. I think the video's on YouTube somewhere. Just check it out. Donald McIntyre, Chelsea Headhunters and stuff. He used to do a lot of undercover stuff. Very good at what he did, but the end game of stitching people up, which I don't appreciate. He no longer does anything like that. Obviously, I've done various bits of filming with him over the years, and just randomly just hit me up this morning. Like I've got a different number from when he last spoke to me, and he's got a different number to when I last spoke to him. He messaged me on Twitter as well. He's got a Twitter account, so he messaged me on Twitter. But yeah, he also emailed me and stuff. So obviously, I went to the doctor this morning. So I just obviously belled him up and stuff. He goes, "Oh, hi Cody, how are you?" And all that, like Donald does, man. It's crazy shit. But yeah, he just said to me, he said, "I'm going to be up in Manchester on Tuesday next week." He said, "You're about for a coffee and that and some food or whatever, like to just have a catch up." I said, "Yeah, of course, man. Like, let's do it." So, but with Donald, right, he's always working, guys. Right, there's always something going on. There's a reason he wants to meet me, but he's yet to tell me. Like I say, depending on what that is, I may or may not take part. Obviously, that was that. Obviously, mentioned that I'd like linked up with Frenchie, so he asked for Frenchie's number. So then I rang Frenchie up, because I've not spoken to Frenchie for a few weeks, and said to Frenchie, I said, "Donald wants your number. Am I okay to pass the number?" So he said, "Yeah, lad, go ahead." So I passed the number. So they've spoken. Then he spoke to them. Frenchie spoke to me, just to ask if is he kosher, is he all right? I said, "Yeah." So then obviously I spoke to Donald again. So all that's going on. The other day I spoke to someone about it was a gang program for Channel 5. Like I said, I was a doorman in 2006 in Ashton-under-Lyne, right? Very naughty little area at the time, and the club was very like it was like Wigan Pierce on music. Everyone was pilled off the tits or on different drugs, right? And like I say, through doing the door there, I became involved with a gooch gang, right? Someone keeps asking me a question about it. I don't know why, but they keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And then obviously became friends with the gang lads. They wanted to sell drugs in the club. I wanted to make money. They wanted to make money. So I took the drugs off people on the door. I'd sell them back to them at half the price. Say a gram at the time was 1-to-1 bashed up, £40 a gram, yeah. I'd sell it to them for 20. I'd make 20. They'd make obviously 20 on top of that. I was making money. They was making money. They sold drugs exclusively in the club. Like I said, started to go out for food with them. Went down to a barbecue, all that sort of stuff. Ended up selling coke for them on the door. Had a bit of a fallout, and that was the end of that. Then they ended up going in 2007. They all ended up going to prison for 235 years between 11 of them. The main two guys, Piggy and Cabo, I didn't have anything to do with, but his lads, Chucky, Rick Dog, and all the rest of the boys, yeah, obviously, they were the ones that I knew. One of the lads as well, Kang, he died in a motorbike accident. God bless him, may he rest in peace. So that was that. So they contacted me. They just said, "Look, like how, like they're talking about the criminal underworld and how gangs operate, and has it changed and stuff like that? Are gangs getting more ruthless as they're getting older and with fewer police on the streets, and as time goes on, the evolution of gangs?" So that was that. I'd done an interview with the Guardian newspaper about probation, about the obviously privatisation and like stuff like that. Probation, are they fit for purpose? Do they aid rehabilitation? Obviously not, because reoffending rates are so high. I've done interviews. I've done who did I do? I've done Talk Radio. I've done Love Sport Radio. last was on radio on the Saturday morning, sorry, 8 a.m. There's other bits. There's lots of little things going on at the moment, and so some things I can tell you about, some things I can't. Like I say, the intention is that they're going to come off and something like that. I'm going to be, me and Frenchie are going to be meeting up in Salford in a few weeks. We're carrying out a duty together. We're going to be providing security at a funeral. That's that. So there, I'm going to do the competition thing. I'm going to ask Frenchie to sign copies of his book, and then this DVD, and do a question and answer session sort of thing with Frenchie. What else are we doing? I'm good. Do you know what I'm thinking about doing? Right, I've got to hit Donald up to ask. But what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about doing a question and answer session with Donald McIntyre for you guys. Right, sort of like I'll have to just sit behind the camera asking questions to Donald. So if you want to, I'll have to ask Donald if he's okay with it. He probably will be. But if you guys want to get your questions in for Donald on this video, put your questions in the comment section below. And then on Tuesday next week, when I link with Donald, I'll do like a little mini interview thing with Donald. Like I said, he might give you a minute to 2 minute answers for your questions. But it's your way to ask him questions. Like I say, if you don't know who Donald McIntyre is, check him out on Google. Like I say, investigative journalist. There's a new guy on Channel 5 called Paul Connolly. Right, I've done an interview with Paul recently, actually, on Love Sport Radio. He was covering for Kelvin McKenzie, and we're talking about prison food, right? Paul Connolly, I think he's called. He's done all the fraudsters and stuff like that. He like nailing the fraudsters on Channel 5. He's been to prisons all around the world and something like that. So he's like a Donald McIntyre sort of cut from the same cloth, if you will. You'll have to let me know if you know who Donald McIntyre is. Do you know who Paul Connolly is? Are you interested in asking Donald McIntyre a question? You'll have to let me know, guys. Like I said, the comments in the comment section below. Do it. Let's do it. Like I said, I'm going to do one with Frenchie as well in a few weeks. You'll have to stand by for that one. Again, if Frenchie is up for it, I'm sure he will be, like he was last time. Just let me know, guys. Like I said, there's lots of interviews I'm doing. There's documentaries that have popped up that are interested. And like I say, the thing is, though, right, I'll be honest with you, right, like, I'm not interested in doing the interviews, right? I've palmed interviews off. I said I was up in York ages ago with my mum, and I said to Frenchie, I said, look, they need to do an interview on probation. I'm going to be up there. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really in the mood for it. So Frenchie did it for me, which was a great help, and I appreciated that. But like I say, I'm not interested in. Do you know what? Genuinely not interested in doing the interviews, right? The only reason I do the interviews, and I don't get paid for the interviews, guys, right? Because the Ministry of Justice tries so hard, and the prisons just try so hard to stop stories getting out. They can't shut me up, so I just scream from the rooftops, yeah. And like I say, I'm trying to bring pressure on the Ministry of Justice so that it brings change, and also that prisoners don't suffer in silence, and so that prisoners' families don't suffer. Because prisoners' families, man, fucking hell, prisoners' girlfriends that contact me on a daily basis, suffering, worried about their man in jail, right? And they're suffering. They're like silent victims, like kids of prisoners, mistresses, wives. Do you know what I mean? All victims that are just, they suffer in silence and stuff, and there's not enough help there and advice and stuff like that. So that's why I do what I do a little bit. There are some fantastic, like I say, organisations out there. So that's that. Speaking up for prisoners, and obviously the fact one time I turned down an interview. Right, I turned down an interview once. I said, no, I'm not interested yet, and I'm blowing it off, yeah. And some kid did it, right, and I listened to the interview, right, on, I think it was BBC Radio or something, and the kid's like, oh yeah, mate, and he was just glamorising prison, right, and I was like, oh my fucking God. So every time I've been asked to do an interview on prisons, I've always done it unless I've been busy, and then I've put it onto somebody else. Documentaries, I've turned down loads of documentaries, fucking loads. Ones trying to glamorise gun crime, gang life, the criminal underworld, drugs world. And I'm not interested. I don't want to glamorise it to people. Do you make money? Absolutely. Is it worth? Does crime pay? Short term, yes. Long term, no. Crime pays, but that's not true if they catch you, do you know what I mean? Obviously, then they slap proceeds of crime act orders on you and are seizing your properties, houses, cars, dough, whatever it is. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's that. What else am I doing? Oh, I don't know if you guys are aware. I spoke at a university, right, a local university, well, Salford University. I'll just say it, at Salford University on desistance, right, on coming away from crime. Obviously, I think people would accept that I've been involved in the criminal underworld. I've been involved with gangs, drug gangs, I've been involved with firearms, the drug world, street gangs, gangsters, fucking police, prison, arrests, all that good shit. And do you know what the thing is, yeah? I'm a better person now I'm away from crime. I speak differently, I project myself differently, but do you know what, guys? Honestly, I wake up some days, yeah? I say I wake up, I'm not fucking sleeping at the moment, but I wake up some days and I'm like, you know what? I'd love to go back to it, right? Not to commit crime, not for the dough, right? Not for the money, right? Just to feel alive. When you've lived a crazy mad life like a lot of us have, right? And you've been active criminally for a long time, you've made money, you've lost money, you've made money, you've lost money, easy come, easy go. But then the money dries up and you become a law-abiding citizen like I am now. Even though people are offering me money and stuff, I'm staying on a crimeless path. But like, you look back at the life you've lived and you've gone from living at 1,000,000 miles an hour to walking at, to literally at a snail's pace, and it's fucking boring. The ordinary life doesn't interest me, right? And I'm living it, and I tell you straight, I'm climbing the fucking walls. It really, really frustrates me and stuff, massively, massively so. But you'll have to let me know how you guys are doing. What do you reckon to me doing a question and answer session with Donald McIntyre? Do you know who Donald is? Do you not know who he is? Are you interested in dropping some questions for me to ask him? It's your chance, if Donald agrees, to ask questions to Donald McIntyre. You'll have to let me know. Like I said, he's travelled around the world. He's done McIntyre's undercover. He did McIntyre's. He went into Albania and he was trying to buy Semtex and firearms and grenades. It's called on YouTube. It's called McIntyre's Millions. Semtex, right? Check it out. Very, very good documentary. He's very, very good at what he does. But like I said, he's done all the gangster documentaries. Do you know what I'm saying? He's done all that sort of stuff. I've done bits with him as well. Like I say, so yeah, you'll have to let me know, guys, if you're interested. The University of Salford. Anyway, I spoke at the university. See, my concentration shit today. I was contacted today from a doctor of criminology from the university. Right now, the first time I did it, right, they were supposed to pay me. I didn't get paid a penny, so they said we'd like to come back. And then, do you know what? I know that the money, because I don't think they've got the money. I don't think they've got even though the professors of criminology, doctors of criminology, they get like £50 an hour, right? But I don't think they've got the budget, because it's all about obviously profit margins and stuff. So pay me. So I should be paid for my time 100%, but I'm giving my time for free. So I'm going to be going back there on a couple of modules to speak to the students again about my life of crime, about violence. Just different things. The thing is with criminology, it's such a varied subject and broken down into so many different modules. Then you've got fucking theories and all this sort of stuff. I'm not an educated kid, but if I had my time again, I would probably end up being a forensic psychologist, a criminology student. I don't know what I would have done with a criminology degree, but I just find it interesting. But I'm mainly interested in forensic psychology, but I thought it was criminology, but it's not. So that sort of interests me. So I'm going to be going back to the university and stuff and speaking to all these different students. Hopefully it's a target-rich environment, because last time the amount of fucking birds, mate, that was in that fucking lecture room was absolutely off the chain. I was scared, I was nervous, I was shitting myself, and I sat there, and I got taught. It was the last day of term, or one of the last days of semester. Right? It was a 9 o'clock in the morning. Like speech thing, right? You know what I mean? Lecture. That's the word. Lecture. Right, and they said, oh, there'll probably be about 30 of them. Fucking 30. There was about 90, mate. Right? Honestly, and it's just like a little football stand of like people, and it was all looking at me and stuff, right? And do you know what the weird thing was, right? Once the lecture had finished and stuff, the two criminology doctors, we went for a coffee, right? So I was fucking dry mouth and everything. Do you know what I mean? And we sat there and stuff, and he said to me, he said, right, when we're talking, he said they find it boring because they're on the computer, they're on the fucking smartphones, doing whatever they're doing, yeah. He said, when you was there, he said, everyone was gazed on you, right, and was just listening to every word, right. And he said, that's powerful stuff. And do you know what it is when you come to think of it? Because like I say, I'm nobody, but And these kids, another thing as well, a misconception on my part, which I felt bad about, is I thought it was all going to be up their own arse and, oh yes, Richard and all this, and like up their own arse, privately schooled. And you know what? No. Some of them were, but there was a lot of them that were from working class backgrounds, from some of the estates here in Manchester and further afield, right? And they're now at University of Salford, and I was like absolutely buzzing. I came out of there, yeah, honestly, and the feedback and stuff. If you look down my timeline, I think there's a vlog called my first ever criminology summit, right? And check it out and see there's pictures of tweets that I received on there from the students that were blown away. Oh, I've learnt more in this hour than I have the whole semester and stuff like that, which was amazing for me because, like I say, I'm a thick uneducated street kid, but truth be told, I'm not very thick at all. I'm extremely switched on. So yeah, there's certain bits going on, guys. Like I say, some things I can say about, some things I can't, but I'm just, do you know what? Do you want the truth, right? What I enjoy doing, fuck the interviews, right? I'm not asked about the interviews. Yeah, I do them. It's always the marking same stuff that you're coming out with, figures, facts, statistics, right? And then, but what I enjoy doing is this, talking to you guys. I find it, the feedback, when it comes in, it blows me away, right? Because like I said, I'm fucking nobody. I'm not above people. Some people message me like, oh, I'm so shocked you've got back to me. And I'm like, I'm no fucking body. I'm just a kid from the streets like everybody else. Never had nothing in my life. Was raised with nothing. Had money, lost money. Been homeless. Been in prison. You know what I'm saying? Been there and done it, right? Like we all have. Worn a t-shirt, right? But I'm nobody. People are like, oh, I didn't think you'd get back to me. I'm like, I'm just a kid off the street. Simple. You know what I mean? I'm nobody. Anyone can do this YouTube shit like I'm doing. Does it make me famous? I'm not a celebrity. I'm not trying to be a fucking celebrity. I'm trying to help people and rant and stuff and educate people and tell you about prison news, because some of you might not keep up to date with prison news. I'll do vlogs. I'll give help. I'll give advice, both for those going to prison, facing prison, and for those left behind, prisoner girlfriend, prisoners' families, cheapest way to correspond with a prisoner, what to pack for prison, what to expect, can you mentally prepare for all this sort of shit. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video here, guys, because I've rambled on for 17 minutes, and out the corner of my eye, the football's going to be starting very shortly, because it's the Oldham Athletic, my team. We're playing Derby County tonight, so we'll probably get hammered 7-0 and get knocked out first round. Anyway, on that note, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Let me know if you want to do the question and answer session with Donald McIntyre. If I get enough questions, I'll ring Donald tomorrow and say, listen, need to do a question and answer session with you. Are you down? I'm pretty sure he'll say yeah, pretty much. On that note, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll speak to you all soon. Cody out.